Welcome to Mccrackins Corner. Our guest today is Rockin, Jimmy Herter. How you doing today, Jim?
Hey, great to be here, Ed. Very happy to be here. I've been in the New Invaders, I think this is my 14th season.
14th season.
14th season now, with me and Melody. Yeah. Been
Now,
through a lot of changes.
I'd like to back up just a few years to where it all began for you.
Let's go back to the beginning. For me, it was like 4th grade saxophone.
What was your original interest in music?
You know, when I got the saxophone, right away I could tell I was able to hear the pop songs on the radio and I could play them. You know, I could start.
What songs were you listening to at that time?
Well, the Power Beer and the Raiders, and the Beatles, and Elvis in the late 50s. The family would go on these long drives to Arkansas, and you'd hear the AM radio over and over. These songs would be drilled into your mind in these long rides, you know. So I'd pick up on that, and when I started the saxophone, I could start picking out the melodies and playing them, besides, you know, learning the notes and all that stuff.
So did you start playing first and then learn to read the music, or did you read the music?
You read the music first.
You read the music first?
Yeah. They don't, in my grammar school, Catholic grammar school, they didn't give you music theory. You know, you just had to figure it out yourself, kind of. Believe it or not, I didn't know what 1, 4, 5 was, and that's Louie Louie, you know. 1, 4, 5, G, C, and D.
And how long did you play the saxophone before you actually moved on to another instrument?
Saxophone, 4th grade. Picked up a harmonica in 5th grade. Guitar in 6th grade. Then I started playing in combos.
So did you put the saxophone down
my
and
very
then
first
pick up
band,
another, or did you continue the same and just proceed to get more instruments involved?
Back then, yeah, when I went to high school, I put the sax down, and I wanted to play guitar and flute. You know, so
okay.
I traded in the sax and paid $50 for a flute. I got ripped off, but you know, I had a flute. Now I use them all. I mean, I'm playing. You know, we had a keyboard in the house too. So for New Invaders, I can play sax, keyboard, flute, and acoustic and electric guitar all in one show.
Very well rounded. And
it's not supposed to be the Rockin' Jimmy Herter talent show. It's, you know, it's whatever it calls for. You know, I'll fill in. I'm a utility player.
So before you started playing a flute, did you ever play a recorder?
Oh yeah.
Now,
absolutely had a recorder in like 5th grade.
Did you play that before the flute?
Yes. And so that kind of got me interested in the flute. But what really got me interested in the flute was Jethro Tull.
Okay.
You know, Ian Anderson was a great influence.
Sure.
Of mine. You know, I finally met Ian Anderson. Jay Gepner took me backstage to meet Ian Anderson at the one concert.
When was that?
It was great. That was just 5 years ago at the Rosemont.
What's your favorite song that you like to play with the flute?
California Dreamin'.
California Dreamin'?
I play that solo standing on one leg.
You had the saxophone, and then from the saxophone you went to
the harmonica.
The harmonica.
I got a lot of mileage out of the harmonica too. I used to carry that thing around with me everywhere, you know, and just whip it out there and start playing. My first professional gig was on a bus on a skating trip or something.
Now, if I ask somebody else that plays the harmonica exclusively, and he didn't learn it off of reading music, is that something did you learn that off of reading music?
The harmonica, when you buy it, there's a little instruction sheet inside it, and it tells you how to play. Suck, blow, blow, suck, and it shows you what.
So you just kind of listen to what the chords are?
After reading that, then I kind of figured out how it went and listened along to the radio and played along with it.
Now, do you have a problem with the reeds failing on the harmonica at all?
Yeah. Harmonica, you go through a lot of them.
You do?
Depending on how much you really bend the notes, you know. Yeah. They don't last. If you use them a lot, they'll last a year, you know.
Now, what kind of music were you playing with the harmonica? Were you playing like bluegrass or jazz?
No, it was all pop music still. Do-wah-diddy.
Really? With the harmonica?
Blow, 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 suck, suck, blow. That's it. It's the easiest thing going, man.
And then you evolved to what after that?
Then the guitar came in around 6th grade.
Now, were you playing by yourself at this time, or you were playing with other people?
In 7th and 8th grade, I had a band, believe it or not, my first band, and I played saxophone. It was 2 guitars, drums, and saxophone, and I played the melody of the vocal on the sax.
No, wait, was it a garage band or
Yeah, it was a
school
basement.
band?
It was a basement band, and it was called. My first band was called the Invaders.
The Invaders.
The Invaders.
Rockin' Jimmy's already hitting it.
In 7th grade, it's the first band that's full circle, you know.
So did you guys have a vocalist in that band?
After a while, I took over the vocals.
Now, did you know you could sing at that point, or?
No, but you know, I'll tell this to guys all the time. Singers, if you played a wind instrument or a brass instrument early on, you know, that's where you learned your breathing technique, and you know, and kind of how to sing.
So when you were playing the saxophone, you learned your breathing technique?
Yeah, you learn how to produce the melodies, you know, with the sax, and then that pretty much got me into the singing part of it as well.
What did you sing?
I think my first song was "I Feel Good." I was saying we got hired to play a little party, and this is 7th or 8th grade again, and you know, I'm singing "I Feel Good" and spinning around in circles, and one of the neighbors at the party goes, "Whoa, I think your son's been drinking there, Verge." Because I was getting just wild, you know, because I get off on it. You know, singing is a healthy thing to do. You know, you get a little lightheaded sometimes, depending on how you're breathing and stuff, and it kind of gets you high, you know, singing.
Obviously, this is years ago. When you first went out and you did your first performance, were you nervous at all, or did you just go up there and you're just ready to do it? Or?
I think I was less nervous in grammar school bands than I was than I am now. You know, I'll still get nervous.
What happened with the first band? How long did you guys play together?
That first band, 7th and 8th grade, it was a couple years. It was a great experience, but I moved on to more of a rock band. In high school, we had 2 drummers, 2 guitar players, bass player, singer. You know, it was like.
And what were you playing at that time?
Same stuff. It was like Beatles and Rolling Stones, and I was playing guitar.
Now, was it a 6-string or a 12-string?
It was a
electric.
6-string electric. My first 6-string electric. That, you know, it was a knockoff SG, $69 downtown. Very strange. I finally did get a Gibson in like middle of high school, and I just noticed the big difference in the sound. You know, from a $200 Gibson SG, from a $69 hanging on the wall in a pawn shop. Rip off the young kid that goes downtown.
You got to crawl before he can run, right?
Right.
Were you playing in the high school, or were you just playing in a band in the high school?
I was playing in the high school band. We had a guy. The manager of the band was just this older guy that wanted to be in a band, and so he had us kids playing behind him, but he could drive. So he had a car and a trailer, and none of us could drive yet.
Bonus.
I was playing in restaurants before I could drive.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, we were playing wedding receptions freshman year in high school.
Oh, so your heart was into it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I definitely, I felt a connection to it right away with the saxophone. You know, and being in that other band, it was easy for me just to pick up and just play those songs like I was singing them. I'm really lucky to be playing with all the guys in the New Invaders and the guys in the horn section. You know, they're music majors, you know, doctorates and stuff. You know, professors. Pretty cool.
So when you got past high school, and did the band stay together? Did it break up?
I moved on there once going off to college. You know,
College, you were still playing music?
I was still playing. I was actually a music major in my second year of college.
Okay, so you took music in school?
In college.
Okay.
In college. The first year was mechanical engineering. Second year of college down at SIU was a music major, but you know, those classical musicians, they didn't especially love the rockers being in there. You know, somebody that wanted to play pop music and sing and play the guitar. You know, you're either a vocalist or you're playing an instrument. The year that I changed my major to music was the first year that SIU in Carbondale had guitar as an instrument.
And were you playing electric guitar or acoustic?
Oh, it was acoustic. You had to have a nylon string guitar. for the classical guitar.
And what's the reasoning behind that?
That's the standard classical music instrument.
Does it give a different sound?
A gut string guitar is awesome.
I don't know. I'm just.
Oh no.
I'm a layman.
Nylon string guitar is such a great, rich sound. There's nothing like it. It's a sound all its own. It's really something.
Now, are those strings that hold up better than the regular?
No, not really. I mean,
no.
No.
It just gives a different sound.
A classical guitar has a sound like no other, and the strings can wear out pretty quick. I think.
What are you trying to get out of majoring in music in college, if anything?
Well, in 1974, I met my partners that I would really be getting serious about music with, and so I was going back to my second year at college, and I said, well, I'm really into music. I want to play music. So I changed majors and started learning music theory, but again, the classical musicians, they were pretty stuck up about
so your hands were kind of
rock
tight.
and roll. Yeah, I mean, my other instrument was flute, but I wasn't very good at it. I got into the orchestra pit the one day, and I look at the music, and I go, oh my God, there's all these notes way up there, and I couldn't read it. I couldn't play the flute at that time.
So, after college, did you continue in music, or did you move on to another profession, or did you put music on a hiatus?
Yeah, I had a turning point where my third year of college, I moved up to NIU in DeKalb, so I could be with my bandmates.
Okay.
My new bandmates.
And where did you find your bandmates at?
That was when I went back home.
Okay.
It was the summer of love, 1974. We all had great girlfriends, and Steve Costagas introduced me to Jimmy Caprio, and we started a band right there. After my first semester, I moved up to Northern Illinois University, and we all had a band house, band condo together. And after Christmas break, we missed the bus to DeKalb. We said, hey, look, there's a bus to Carbondale, or the train to Carbondale, so we took the train to Carbondale instead. I had my books with me and everything, and it was like, that was the end of my college career right there, because I didn't go. We went to Carbondale, we got a gig, and they'd give us a case of beer, and they'd feed us and give us a few bucks, and we made enough money to take the train back, because we didn't have enough to get back. We found a gig, so I go, hey, this is pretty cool, But that was my introduction.
1974 was it?
Into, the professional music business.
Now, did you guys have a band name at that time?
We were Wooden Planet.
Who came up with that?
Wooden Planet. Steve and his friend Joe Volano had a little band with Caprio. It was wood and ivory. The guitar was the wood, and the ivory was the keyboard.
Oh, I see.
So
okay.
And Wooden Ivory kind of turned into Wooden Planet. I think Ry Peterman came up with that name. And when we got out to LA, I had the wonderful idea to change it to Daily Planet. And we just took more.
So wait a minute. So you got.
I know I jumped pretty far.
Hold on a minute. So you quit college. You decided to go play music with these bandmates that you met in the summer of love in 1974, and then you guys were taking the train back home.
And we got back to Chicago, regrouped, and got back to our condo at NIU. That band actually was the Druids. The Druids was the precursor to the Wooden Planet.
Now, was it any of the same bandmates you had?
Oh yeah.
It was. So you changed to the Druids?
The first band, the Invaders, then Quota, then I had the Druids.
I didn't hear about Quota.
Quota was that first high school.
Okay, so that was called Quota.
That was the one we were playing restaurants before we could drive. And
Okay, so that was called Quota. Okay.
Yeah, so it was the Invaders, Quota, the Druids, which transitioned into Wooden Planet. So we were still in DeKalb.
Now, while you were evolving in all these different bands and getting more creative in music, what instruments were you playing? Were you just sticking with the guitar?
I was on the guitar.